A town of friendly people.
Yeah.
Grover is a really great town. And 61. That's why my father wanted to move here, not knowing it, but he said, like 2 weeks ago, he said, oh, thank God, he didn't move to Massapequa.
He had good insight. Foresight.
Yeah.
And Huntington was the other one.
Okay.
But he picked Thorough. So thank God he did, because it really helped taking care of him, because it takes a village to take care of somebody like my dad. But I wanted to take Chantel, but she's not here. I thought somebody would grab her and make her come, because she took care of my dad really well. He loved her, she loved him, it was amazing. Who would have thought my father would have...
Don't want to go there. George.
So anyway, and Paolo was his physical therapist who came. He loved seeing him like twice a week. He kept him in line. Paolo came to the wake last night. So, you know, it takes a lot of people. The VA took care of my dad really, really well. Unbelievable. But all my friends that really get me together, because we're here. We failed today. That's all. I didn't write anything down. It's all off the top of my head, but we're gonna miss him, even though he was tough. And it really takes a lot of people to keep him going to 97, that's for sure. So that's all. I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Oh, I know what.
We're on the clock. We gotta go.
Let's listen to George. Keep on going.
I just want to thank everybody from coming from so far. You know, North Carolina, Laos,
Laos. That's Vietnam for anybody who doesn't know.
Pennsylvania, Colorado, where else? You guys came from California, Seattle.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
I really appreciate everybody coming so far, and of course everybody, family and friends that are here. Thank you so much. That's all.
Thanks, Debbie.
Cheers. Down the hatch, Debbie. Down the hatch. Yes.
Just for the record, it was 86.5. It was Sugar Bush, and which run was it? His last run?
I don't know, the Bunny Hill on
Oh my God! Forget about it. Oh God! Now they're gonna argue.
Everything's going well.
Christ.
Anything else?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Dad wants to party.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss Marion. You gained a few pounds, right? It's all good. It's all good. Never told me if I lost a few pounds, but always told me. I didn't get her on the
Yeah, I hope so.
We ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so now's my chance to talk.
Gotta go.
We
gotta go. A politician.
It won't take more than 40 minutes. So once again, thanks to everyone for coming, for helping us. He had a good run, and we're here to celebrate his life today.
Yes.
We can't be sad because 98% of us would sign up for what he had with his family, with his life, and his experiences. He was a survivor, as the priest mentioned today. He was an integral part of the greatest generation.
Oh, yes.
The guys who were born between 1920 and 1925, who saw the Depression, fought in the World Wars, and came out of it and didn't look back, and they had nothing, but they made great things for their families and their memories.
And had a job with the cafeteria and a pension.
He was a colorful character with a lot of character. That's the way I kind of like to describe him. You know, you always, the last couple of days with some of the stories, it was just phenomenal. Just listening to some of the things, people that I hadn't seen in decades, but telling me he was my Babe Ruth coach. You know, and I loved being with him. You know, one of the stories I had from one of the guys down the street, that in our neighborhood where we grew up, everybody came up out of the city in the 50s. They settled in there. We had 25 kids in the neighborhood from, like, you know, a range of 3 years that all we did was play ball all day. And he came up to me and he said to me last night, he goes, you know what? Your father was the only father in the neighborhood who played ball with all the kids. And I was thinking about it. Yeah, he'd be out in the street, you know, throwing the football to everybody, playing baseball. And I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I did. Happens all the time. And I thought about it, and I said, you know what? You're right. You know, we'd be out, and after even they would tar and gravel the roads, you know, in our neighborhood. We'd be out there playing football in the road. He'd tell the kid, just keep running, I'll throw you the ball. He never threw it to me. Yeah, but you were in good shape. And that was Pop. I want to talk a little bit, you know, a lot of people come up and said about the website that we had with his life, but I just want to go into a little bit more detail because I think it's worth, you know, bringing that up to some people. He dropped out of high school for his family because he had to help support his family with his other sisters. So he had a tough family life. They really came from nothing. He liked to say that he graduated from the College of Hard Knocks. And that was one of his favorite phrases. He joined the Army Corps at age 20. He was a co-pilot for the B-24 Liberator, which the way he described it was a bunch of kids trying to fly a tank in the air with bombs on it. The kids were 19 to 25 years old. He was a co-pilot. At 22 years old, he was a co-pilot. He flew 19 missions over occupied France, Germany, and Czechoslovakia. You know, got the hell kicked out of him at times, but they came back. They never lost a man. They never lost a plane. After the Army Air Corps, he enlisted in the reserves. He became a first lieutenant, which I didn't know till like 2 days ago. Because he wasn't a guy who kind of talked about what he did, what he accomplished, and who he was. But it was a lot of fun to listen to his stories. After being honorably discharged, he did go back and get his high school diploma. He always made sure that he told you that.
At Commerce High School, right?
Was it? I don't know which high school it was. That might have been I don't know if we ever saw a diploma. He was great for telling stories that nobody could refute either. So after the Army Air Corps, he became a New York City corrections officer.
In Rikers?
Well, yeah, that was another one too. I'm not sure. A few people had told me he was serving 3 to 5 in and then joined his second love, the New York City Fire Department, on January 1st, 1953. Became a New York City fireman for 31 and a half years, and over the last couple of days, with the honor guard, the color guard, and the stories of guys who were there who were telling me about, you know, his things he did with their fathers, and how they bring them back to reunions and sit in front of the young kids to tell them what it was like in the olden days to be a fireman. It was just great to hear. It was a lot of fun. He was in Engine 80, Ladder 23, which was 139th in Amsterdam. I considered it Western Harlem. From what I understand, they considered it like Vinegar Hill. And he used to tell stories about in the 70s when they used to go out on a run, they'd be throwing bottles and rocks off of the roofs in the city projects at them. But he was a city fireman for 31 and a half years, never hurt, rescued a lot of people, and
he was in the South Bronx.
South Bronx for a while, yeah. And then they liked him so much they kept him driving the ambulance to city fires to take firemen back from the fires who were hurt, things like that, because they liked him being around. He liked being around also.
And also he was going deaf back, so they kind of covered
Now you want to know what he was doing. He was a father who worked a good job.
That was an
He worked
advantage?
as a city fireman. He had a landscaping business around
He was a
in
bartender.
Rockland County. We'd throw 2 lawnmowers in the back of the station wagon. We'd go out, and 7 o'clock, come on, Georgie, we're going. Like that. We'd go, we'd do 10 jobs for the day. He'd drive up along, I remember it distinctly, along Route 9W. He'd give me a little hot dog. He'd threaten me that, you know what, I'm taking it out of your pay for the day. The other thing, he would feed me salt pills all day. Don't worry, we're going. He'd bring me back.
Did he pull you from Ocean Beach?
He'd bring me back from
Oh, yeah.
so we could go do, jobs during the day, lawns, play Babe Ruth at night.
Right.
That was it, and then we'd drive back
Back to the beach.
so we'd miss a day. It's good for you, don't worry. Yeah? He was married 51 years to my mom. And if anybody heard any screaming today at the cemetery, it was Mom, because his casket is
Don't do this to me.
that 51-year marriage ended in 1999 with the death of my mother. They went out to have 10 grandchildren. Stop already. 10 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. Pops was impatient. He was
Never saw that.
stubborn and very thrifty. And ironically, he passed that on to his 4 kids. And I'm sure there's a lot of people in the room who can verify that. So a little bit about our family life. We were not the Ward and June Cleaver.
I met his neighbor.
Okay? But we always had fun in the house. We always had fun, and there were always stories, and there were a lot of good times.
We were never in the house.
Yeah, not in the house, outside the house.
So
Constant activity.
my recollection was, a lot of times parents nowadays, they read their kids bedtime stories out of the book and everything else. My father wasn't a big guy on, bedtime stories, but he used to tell us stories with characters named Ernie Beducci, Phil Mumsy Gun, I mean, this is now you understand why we're like this. This is the house we kind of grew up in.
Explains a lot.
And I came to learn that it wasn't really stories out of a book. It was stories, I think, about his friends that he just inserted names with, because it was always an adventure. Something they did something, or they got in trouble, or whatever. And I guess he got us to sleep, or I don't know. But it was always amazing.
I don't think she
No, what do you mean they weren't real? There's a game I play with my friends all the time now, Remember the Time. And it always ends up reverting to a story about something we did either stupid or funny or both. And that's kind of the thing with Pops. We had a lot of good times with him. As kids and the grandchildren really got to experience a lot of good things with him. So, we used to play that with Pops all the time. Oh yeah, remember the time we went to the game? Or we saw the kid play, or we, went somewhere else, or we went on vacation, or we packed everybody in the station wagon, we're going to Florida.
I never went to Florida. I was the only one.
Get out of bed. You can sleep your life away. Get out of bed.
So my one remember the time that I just keeps coming back to me is I used to run a bus trip from Long Island with a lot of people from work and friends of friends. Ski trip up to Wyndham in the Catskills. One year, it happened to be on Friday, and it was always on a Friday, but this Friday happened to be Valentine's Day. So we pack everybody in the bus, a big coach bus, 45 people or so. We come up on Route 17. What do? We're picking up Pops on the side of the road. He's going skiing with us, and he's got to be maybe 70 years old or something like this at this time. He's skiing. We pack him into the car, into the bus. We go up to Wyndham. We have a great day. We go into the bar afterwards. He's with us the whole day. On the way back in the bus, he must have gotten, 75 kisses from girls. Now it's Valentine's Day and he's going nuts. But people still remember that about your father was the greatest. It was so fun to watch him. It was great for you to be with him and share those kinds of experiences. So that's my Valentine's Day. So, my thing is, Pops never got cheated. Okay? He got his money's worth in everything. Whether it was the buffet line or the last sip of beer.
A buffet. It's a buffet.
Close to the end here. And his other big thing was he was able to collect a VA pension and a fire department pension 33 years. He retired from the fire department in 84. 84. He's actually got
Back check.
So my one visual for the day. He's now standing at the pearly gates. Okay, he's rattling the gate. Let me in! Let me in! What the heck's going on? For Christ's sake! Behind the pillar comes this man in a shadowy figure with a beard and a staff. St. George, you need patience. That's ridiculous! All his friends are on the other side. You know, all the guys that were mentioned today in the prayer for the faithful, saying, George, it's April Fool's Day. My mother is running the other way. I've had 18 years of peace. So once again, and here's the Debbie thanks everybody who's in this room. And everybody helped, and she's right with everything. But Debbie put her life temporarily on hold, parts of her life, for the last 18 years. She was the... And it's true. I mean, she's been there with everything. She's been there. She's really put her temporary life, or part of her life, on hold. So I want everybody to make sure that they keep her included in their life, and she's got no excuse now to go out and have a good time. All right, Debbie. Grab a glass. Okay? You're welcome. I just want to make sure. Okay. So we like to do a thing in the Desmarais family where, hey, what's going on? All right. You got called out.
Wine out of a beer glass?
We like to do a thing in our family. The last year's our Tata Toast, okay?
Where's your drink, Tizzy?
I'm videotaping.
I'll put it up for her. We miss you. You will not be forgotten. Thank you for all the things you have given us. And down the hatch.
Down the hatch.
One thing I forgot. Wait.
I knew it was too good to be
Done good, Pops.
We love you, Tima.
Oh, so you get it.
You can email that to me.
I hope so.